Hey guys, welcome to another week of Backstage. A little different episode today. Obviously with Magic Round just been and gone, it's been a huge week for the family and particularly Matthew working. So rather than do an interview style, we thought we would do the long-awaited 1 to 17 NRL current draft. So when you hear out for the teams, give us your thoughts, feedback, which team you think was better, and give us your team as well if you've got one in mind or any players you think we might have missed out on. So enjoy this special episode, and don't forget to follow and subscribe on Spotify and the podcast app. Enjoy.
Yeah, howdy people, how you doing? Today it is me and Cooper. We're doing, what we're going to do through the year, we're going to do a series of just specials. Might be before or straight after State of Origin matches, giving us our insights. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Today we're going to select a team out of current rugby league players. They can be players here in the NRL Coop. They can be Super League players. Doesn't matter. And this team, 13 players, 4 interchange, 1 coach you're going to select. This team must win to save your life.
Oh, gosh.
You're going to pick a team. 17-man team, and they must win to save your life. Okay? We cross that?
Yeah, I got that. That's fine.
Any questions?
Question for you, okay. When picking this side, because there's people who have just debuted in the NRL and whatnot, are we taking them for how they're playing right now or for like just whoever's playing and their ability, all that sort of stuff?
Let me make something clear. Right? It can be anything. You can pick a player.
Even if they're injured?
Yes, that counts. Registered rugby league players. Now, the thing about it is, mate, they can be in terrible form. They can be killing it. They can be tough. They can be talented. It doesn't matter. I want you to pick a team that you think can win if your life's on the line.
Okay.
So it's 13 players, 4 interchange players, 1 coach. You can't pick, we can't pick the same player. We're going to pick 1 for 1. Okay. And the player you select must have played in that position at least 50% of their career. So, for instance, you can't go, Tom Trbojevic on the wing. Can't do that.
Okay.
Rightio? So we cross that?
Yeah. Okay.
So what we're going to do, righto, and what we want to do, listeners, we want you to let us know which team wins. Righto?
Yes.
In your feedback, you tell us who wins, what the score was, and who is the man of the match. Righto. Let's go. Let's start with fullback. Righto. Let's go paper, scissors, rock to see who goes first.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah. Scissors, paper, rock.
Scissors, paper, rock. Oh, God. Just let people know we've gone scissors, rock. Okay.
Scissors, paper, rock. Okay,
yeah, I gotcha.
You go first.
Okay. So we're going to do fullback.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going Dylan Edwards.
Lots to pick from.
It's a red-hot position. I'm going Dylan Edwards. Mate, I'd back him. I'd back him with my life, Dylan Edwards. Right out.
Yeah.
It's
pretty good.
You tell me how many bad games he's played in the last 3 years.
Not many.
Not many.
If any.
If any. He's the fittest at Penrith. He's the best trainer at Penrith. He's, in my opinion, the most consistent. In a great side, most consistent. And they tell me, on top of all those things, he could have been a serious boxer. Potentially a champion boxer. So on a night out after the game with a few beers, if the shit hits the fan, he can look after me.
Yeah.
Righto. Who's your fullback?
I'm going Reece Walsh. I know he's only early in his career compared to some of the other fullbacks, but I just think the skills that he has, his running game, his overall flair, his kicking game, a little bit of an underrated part of him, and his ball playing, his ability, even if you want to jam him, his quick hands. Not many fullbacks this early have all those skills. There's usually one way that you can defend them, that if he's really quick, edges say, well, just get up and jam him, but he can actually, one of the few fullbacks that there's not a set way you can defend him. So that's why he's my fullback.
Okay. Have you played against Reece?
Yes.
You did, okay. Where about when he was at the Warriors or at
Brisbane Broncos, Suncorp last year.
Oh, that's right.
Magic
okay, where Flegler emptied you out.
Yeah.
I was thinking I might put Flegler on my side for that reason. Okay. Did you have to defend against him one-on-one?
Yeah. Really strong.
Is he really
He reminds me of like that Teddy early. So he's got that like Teddiness about him where when he comes into line, he kind of pinballs around and he can back away and fend and things like that. And our front row is like, I just can't get our hands on him. Like he's just slippery and he's just backing away.
Right. Has he got much chirp on the field? Does he talk? Does he a bit of sledging?
He had a couple to me. He said a couple of things to me. I'd had a couple of nights on the piss with him though before. So he was kind of like, there's a kick return and he runs straight at me. But we were and like there was a bit of that, but not a heap of like that sort of stuff in him. But that was our plan. Our plan, I remember saying to Brad Parker, who was my centre at the time, I said, I'll put the back rower on my inside shoulder and you just jam Reece out the back because like he's so quick that he's going to put us under pressure. Yeah. But then even when we tried to jam him, it was either a quick hands or he's so strong like in the hips that he's really hard to jam and go and stop him. So Parks found it really hard.
So I've gone Dylan Edwards, you're Reece Walsh.
So now do I go...
You go winger first now. You go for your first pick of the wings.
Do I pick one winger?
Yeah, one winger.
I'm going to go Brian Toto. I think he's probably on par to... Probably going to be the best winger ever.
I think he's the greatest yardage winger of all time.
Yeah. He's and a lot of people might not see what he does off the ball, how hard he works back on kick returns to push with Dylan Edwards and things like that. So I'm going to go Toto.
Okay. I'm going to go Ronaldo Mulatalo.
Oh, good.
He's he's my favourite winger. Multi-dimensional, huge competitor, dynamite in yardage, great finisher, and I like it. He's got a lot of chirp in him. Yeah. He's a great competitor. They tell me he drives people mad on the field. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. He's a great competitor. The other thing I like about him, my team, I'm looking for a no dickheads policy too. Right, I'm picking a team. Not just to save my life, but
good bloke
that I want to be around, right? That I would like to coach. Mulatalo's one. I'd never met him, but I think sometimes I'll put it this way. I think it says a lot about his personality. Me and your mum, we're at the airport, and he just come up to Trish and I, introduced himself, and I was just really impressed with him. I think it takes a lot of character.
I really reckon he's a good bloke. Nico says at training he's the worst bloke to ever train against because he chirps even at the boys. But I've met him off the field, and he's a bloody good bloke. Completely different bloke.
Okay, now I pick in the next. I'm first pick of the next winger. Dylan Watine-Zelezniak. Again, multi-dimensional, really strong in yardage, powerhouse in yardage, phenomenal finisher, and great in the air. He's got experience. He's a great leader. I've never met Dylan, but I hear he's an excellent fella as well.
Good hair.
Oh, he's got wonderful hair.
Great hair as well.
Yep.
Did you take that into account? The hair?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. As you won't be surprised. I'm not really a hair guy.
All right.
Yeah.
My next one is going to be, I think, my opinion, the best current winger in the NRL, Xavier Coates. I think, we've got the yardage. Now, I think he's probably the best finisher in the NRL and aerial threat. Queensland player and just a great athlete. Sprinting background, comes from a sprinting background. Really does a lot of track training.
He's very high hipped. See, he's very holds himself very tall.
But he's starting to really. And I was down at Melbourne earlier last week, and I was chatting to the strength team about him, and they said he's just really developed the last 12 months from being kind of still a young kid. He's only 22 now. He's only 22. Xavier Coates. So now he debuted so young. And then now he's starting to realise just how big and physical he is, and he's really maturing. I think he's just going to come on leaps and bounds.
I've never met Xavier. He's a good fella.
One of the best blokes. You've probably one of the nicest, best blokes you've ever met.
Well, that's I like that. He looks it.
Yeah.
Right, Coop.
Do I go centre now?
You're centre. You lead off on the centres. So you got Reece Walsh, Toto, Xavier Coates. I'm Dylan Edwards, Ronaldo, Mulatalo, and Dylan Watine-Zelezniak.
Okay, I might need your approval on these two guys because the rule was they have to have played 50% in this position.
Okay,
I picked Latrell Mitchell.
Yeah, sure. I'll give you that.
He's probably played 50-50 centre.
I think so.
So I'm going Latrell Mitchell, my left centre. I think centre is still his best position, in my opinion. I think left foot, big left foot step, right foot fend, and a little left flick. I think he's got all the attributes to be the best centre.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal player. Like Latrell. Similar, I think you judge a lot of time a person's character on how they treat your loved ones. Like, it's very easy, like, you get a person, player to come up, and because, I'm on a show and you have opinion, most people will come up and they'll be nice. Do you know what I mean? But it's how they treat your loved ones. Like Latrell, every time that I've met Latrell in Trish's company, he's been so nice to Trish, and I think that says a lot about a person.
Yeah. So you pick your two centres.
I've got Stephen Crichton. I've got Stephen. I love Crichton. I think he's the best centre in the game at the moment. He's a great leader. He's proven a great leader at the Bulldogs. I think he's one of the best defensive centres I've ever seen. And the bloke's just pure class in every way. And, you know, we talk about him as a person. We had him on the show 2 weeks back, and he was just so good. You know the thing I loved about him, right? Says a lot about his leadership and his character. Number one, in the ad breaks, we'd chat, and he'd, like, look at you right in the eye, like he would actually listen.
Yeah.
And the other thing I like about him, on the show, I'd ask... Sometimes you ask a person a specific question, and other times you'll just throw it at both the players. And he was on with Jacob Kraz.
Yeah.
So I'd ask a question each time. He would answer, Stephen, because Jacob was just sort of sitting there. Anyway, I asked a question, Stephen answered, and as we went to overlay where you don't get to see us, we're focusing on pictures, he slapped Kraz on the leg and went, "Hey, come on, pick up."
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
You know,
yeah,
that's
because you see, especially when there's two people on there with you, and you're a footy player, and they'd be intimidated by being on your guys' show.
They're in my company. I mean, I cast a big shadow.
Starstruck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good from someone who's only 24 years old.
Mike, I picked the next centre.
Yes.
Right. I'm going
the Hammer.
I'm going to go the Hammer.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
Hammer, so Tabby White.
I mean, has he played 50% in centre?
Yeah, I think he has. Those. Jack's the thing. Yeah, Jack's shrugged his shoulders. I'll take that as yes.
I'll let you.
Yeah, because at the Cowboys, he was sort of a lot of wing, a lot of set. Look, I'm going to put it to you. Do you want to rule that out?
I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to let you have it. You let me have Latrell. I'll give you that.
Phenomenal player.
He's a good player.
He's one of those footballers. There's something magical about him.
Yeah.
Last year really surprised me where Billy Slater picked the Hammer ahead of Gags. They dropped Gags and put him in, and I was openly critical of that. Not because the Hammer was selected, just not picking Gagai. I mean, this is a guy who won 2 men of the Wally Lewis medals off the wing.
Yeah,
but he's just like Slater. He's one of those rare players that's freakish but consistent.
Yeah.
So my two centres, Crichton and the Hammer.
My next centre, then, I'm going to pick Joey Manu. I think bringing back that Rooster side, Latrell and Joey Manu, probably the best centres combination since Gaznier and Matt Cooper, I would say. Just both really specialist in that side, both really hard to take on one-on-one. But also, they've got that X factor where they kind of both float everywhere and they can pop up and just not on their respective sides. So they're my two.
Tell you what, I imagine he's going to have a big impact Japanese rugby.
Yeah.
A big impact, and hopefully he comes back to the game.
I think he would.
Yeah,
I would think he would. I think we might just have a little breather over there.
Because Japanese, well, mate, I'll say this: Japanese rugby. Speaking to a lot of players that have played there, the standard of the rugby is probably 6 out of 10. It's not like it's not like you're going to a minnow. Like the rugby is pretty decent standard. But they said the training, if you've got a Japanese coach. Oh, man, they said the training is horrific. I talked to Craig Wing about it and Mark Gerard, who played there. They said, mate, like, in Japanese rugby, you got a Japanese coach, they put no currency in skill. It's all just fitness. All their currency is in blood and sweat. Yeah. So, okay. So you met Joey Manu?
Yeah, I met Joey Manu. Good fella.
Good guy.
Good fella. Into his music. He's doing a bit of rapping, actually. Him, Joey Suali'i, Siwa Wong, and Satili Tupanua.
Are they?
Yeah, they've released a song, actually.
I might get them
forgot what the song's called.
I might get them on the show. Not wake me up before you go, bro.
No. No, it's a little rap song they've done. I think it's called Party All Night, actually. That's what it's called, Party All Night. Jump on Spotify if you want to give it a listen. Yeah, they play it in the sheds and stuff all the time, Cheese says.
That's good. I like Siwa Wong.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He's a good man.
My 5'8" now? You
pick the 6 man.
My man, Cameron Money Munster. I'm gonna pick the Mun Man.
Are you guys talking? I mean, he was off you big time when you did your you did your announcement that you were retiring, that tearful goodbye to the game.
Yeah.
And you wrote about him and
Cheese.
their little off-field incident.
Yeah. I think he was off for about a couple of weeks, man. The good thing about Money is he forgets just as quickly as he reacts. So usually it goes in one ear and out the other with Mun.
Do you remember the time? So Trish and I were in the city for New Year's Eve, and we're in the car coming back, and I rang and said, mate, you home? You went, yeah, you're a little bit cagey. I went, well, what's going on? He said, oh, me and Munster are here at home. I go, oh, yeah. Ugh, here we go. So I walk in the door, and you blokes, yeah, behaving. You just look quite tidy, but we're all having a few drinks at home, and Trish is putting music on, right? And he just kept changing the music. I'm watching Trish going, this is not gonna fucking end well. And she's getting irritated. Anyway, she put a song on, like awful. Trish's taste in music, people, it is horrific. Like Sly and the Family Stone, we are family. That just turd of a song. Anyway, Munster just changed it. And she goes, I'm telling you, you are in my fucking house. Do not change the music. And he went, you know what? It's probably time you went to bed, toots. Remember that? Yeah. Did not go well.
No. You know what the funny thing about that thing? The whole time it was, Mum turned her back and she thought she heard Money say it, when in reality, it was actually me that said it.
Did you?
But I didn't want to fall on the grenade because I knew she'd go angrily at me. So Money fell on it for me. So Money was like, nah, it was me. And then he copped the brunt. And I just never said anything to your mum because I didn't want him to get in trouble.
Yeah, gotcha. You're a good mate.
Yeah. My favourite, a quick Mun story just for you guys. 2020, after Storm won the comp, we were all on the piss, and for those people that didn't know, Origin got moved to after the season that year because of COVID.
Yeah.
So we were on the piss for like 4 days, and the Queensland boys, a lot of the boys at Storm had been picked for Queensland, so they had a taxi picking up like 5 of them, and by this stage everyone was they were hungover, but they were probably over it, like over the drunkenness by now, and they were all in the taxi waiting for Mun, and Mun was in a floral tracksuit sitting in the lobby with sunnies on, still on the piss with us. And he was going, no, I'm not coming. I'm going to see you tomorrow. I'm having one more night on the piss with the boys. And they were like, and the cabbie was just sitting there for like an hour, like, oh, I can't leave. So then Money had to ring Wayne Bennett, and he rang Wayne. He goes, oh, Wayne, it's just telling the boys I'm going to come into camp tomorrow. I'm going to think. And Wayne was like, get in the fucking cab right now.
Oh, yeah. Man. And man of the series. Man of the match in that first game. Man of the series.
Yeah.
Incredible. I've gone Tommy Dearden.
Ooh, Tommy Dearden.
Love Tom Dearden. Again, like Dylan Edwards, he's a guy that I would trust with my life. He's that sort of guy. He's incredibly consistent. He's proven himself really. He's a terrific leader. I just love him. A couple of stories. Fletch and I, when we did a thing with all the players, Hindy's Hole, we had a push-up challenge. Push Sally up, push Sally down. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
And he won it.
Wow.
But when he went down to start doing the push-up, it was really funny watching all the different players. Reece Walsh, he quit after about 30 seconds. The Dylan Brown, he lasted about a bit over a minute, but whinged from the first one to the last, but he did pretty good. Tom Dearden, as soon as he went down, the Cowboys media manager goes, mate, he'll win this. He goes, mate, you'll have to stop him. And it was. He just kept going and going. He won by a mile.
Yeah.
And the other thing I like about him in that same Origin series, it was two Origin series 2 years ago. Game 3 is on the line. They had a lot of injuries. And he was in the squad but hadn't been in the first 2 games. Billy Slater, a couple of days before the game, tapped on his door. Tom Dearden answers and he goes, mate, let you know that you're in. And they said Tom Dearden just broke down crying. He was like that emotional.
Yeah.
And he said, Billy, I won't let you down. And he was fantastic.
Yeah, just a good bloke.
Who's
your halfback? I think they're going to know who it is, probably.
It's not a straight up one because I got.
Hang on.
Okay. I got it in my mind how I want my side to play.
Oh, hang on a second. What's going on here, Spanner?
There's one halfback who I think is the best player in the game, but it's not going to really suit the way that I want to get my side to play. We're all going to be channeled in a certain direction. My halfback's going to be Jerome Hughes.
Wow.
Jerome, I'm looking to pick a spine that can just blast through you, righto? Play through the middle, bump and weave and pinball and just going to drive your middles crazy. So I'm going to go Jerome. Tough. Can't be discouraged. I think, as far as halves concerns, probably close to the best running halfback that I've seen.
I reckon he is. Yeah.
I met him a few times, Husey. He good fella.
Yeah. Bloody good fella.
Ever a menace?
Yeah, there's an alter ego in him called Red Wine Rome that everyone used to call him, because he'd have these nights where he'd like have a bottle of red, and then he just turns into like this completely sweaty, sloppy mess. This little, like, the inner Kiwi in him just comes out. He's just sledging everyone, and he's like dancing, and he just turns into a completely different person.
It's funny because I remember once we had the family weekend at the Storm, and the next day Trish went to me, "Oh yeah, that Jerome's pretty sort of like bit of a funny guy, like, quite angry and that." And I went, "Jerome Hughes?" No, I didn't see it because I was as pissed as he was.
Yeah.
Righto, Cooper. Now you want to pick yourself as halfback?
I get a halfback and prop here. You made my decision a bit easier. I'm going to take Nathan Cleary then.
Of course.
I was tossing up between him and good friend Daly Cherry Evans, but I just think 3 premierships in a row. Nathan kind of picks himself at this stage. What a great player. My first front rower is going to be Payne Haas. Back on
Nathan. Hamstring.
Yeah.
As we're recording this, last night he did a hamstring. Get a lot of hamstrings at the moment, isn't it? It's few in the game.
That's the way. That's the nature of hamstrings. They just go.
I did about 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Like Tom did one, and he has done one. I tell you, this is when you do a hamstring. It's just not time on the sideline, Coops. It's a bit of mental scarring it leaves.
Yeah.
Particularly in Tom's case, it's going to be, but also for Nathan.
Yeah, he's done 3 now in a 12-month period. So I don't know if it's the same hamstring all 3 times. I'd hope it's not, but for Nathan's sake. But I think they're definitely going to be cautious with him because, like we see, how important he is to that side, particularly in finals time. Right, and then I'd take Payne Haas as my first front rower.
Gotcha.
Now you can go.
So Payne, have you you had much to do with Payne?
Yeah. Played against Payne.
Yeah.
Good fella. Good fella. Good player. It's just
Novocastrian, Newcastle boy. He's from Woodbury.
Yeah.
Okay. My first front row I'm going to pick is Advertise Blake. I think he will retire as one of the best front rowers of all time. He is off to Cronulla next year, and I think in his time there, Cronulla will definitely win a competition.
Yep.
Yeah, so Advertise Blake. Never met Adden, but I've got huge admiration for him as a footballer. Okay, Coop, my other front rower. I'm going to go James Fisher-Harris. Watch out for the hitman.
The fish.
He's got desire, he's got toughness, athleticism, and leadership. Yeah,
Fisher.
So that's it, man. I love my front row. Good luck.
I'm with you. My second front rower, I'm going to go to old teammate of mine, now Dolphin, Jesse Bromwich. A phenomenal career.
Yep.
Great leader. Just a really great leader. He took over as captain after Cameron Smith left. Him and Dale Finucane, and they were really good leaders and just had a great ability to get the best out of other players. So he's mine. And then what are we going to next?
Let's go 13. Who's 13? Your 13?
Okay, my 13 then. I've picked Cam Murray. He's obviously the Rabbitohs aren't having their best year, but just as a player, what he's done so far in his career, only at 25 years of age, he's just a really good leader and he's got everything in his game.
He's taken on. He's taken a lot on.
Yeah.
He's taken a lot on for a long time. They've got to find a way to alleviate some of the pressure off him. He's just, at the moment he's just doing a little bit too much. But anyway, that's by the by. Terrific player. I've gone Reuben Cotter. My temptation was to go for Isaiah Yeo, but the nature of my team, Coop, as I said before, I want a team that's going to blast through the middle.
Okay.
Right? That's going to put a lot of pressure in. And
you do you, mate. That's
so
fine.
I'm going to go Reuben. Powerhouse, cannonball, mate, toughness, desire, smaller in height, really thick. He's a perfect 13.
Are we going to back row or are we going to...
mate, against fatigue. And the other thing about it, he's not a liability when he's tied in the middle. So want someone in the middle who's not going to be a defensive liability as the game goes on. Righto, back row.
You get your second pick.
Okay. For my back row, I am going to go I'm going to go to Liam Martin.
Good pick.
And I know I'm going to leave one open. Liam Martin again, I'd back him with my life. He'd run through a brick wall for his playmakers. And I reckon he's a bloke that would just be petrified of letting you down.
Yeah.
They're the guys I like. And, I'm going Liam Martin.
All right. Well, my 2 back rowers, I'm going to pick straight off the bat. Teammate Homole Olakawatu. Big damager out on that right edge. And then I've picked probably the 2 scariest back rowers of all time who have made my life a living hell the last 5 years of my career. Viliami Kikau on the left edge, Homole on the right edge. Just 2 really damaging attacking back rowers who just strike a lot of fear.
Yeah. When Kickout was running over you in Magic Round, did he any sledging going on? Is he chirps a bit? Does he or don't?
No, it was nothing.
He didn't have to.
I think he felt sorry for me. I think running over me 100 times was probably enough sledging for him.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Right, I'm going to go one from left field. Right, this guy is a bit of an X factor. Talking to an old teammate of mine, Chris Radlinski, who had him at Wigan, he described him as a street fighter. He said he's just a survivor and he'll do whatever he has to do to win. John Bateman.
I thought you were going to say
I'm
John.
I'm going to go Bateman. If you befriend this bloke, I reckon he'd die for you.
Yeah.
He's that sort of guy. As I said, street fighter, whatever it takes, unorthodox, and I like him. Smashing bloke too. And mate, and I tell you what, mate, you got if he stands opposite Viliami Kickout, he'll just back himself.
Oh yeah.
In fact, I reckon he'd drive Kickout crazy.
Yeah.
He'd be a hornet.
You go your hooker.
Now this. I'm just calculating my mind. This is a big decision for me. How I want to play. I'm going to go now. I don't know if you know this guy. I'm going to go Harry Grant.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
He got it all, and the best of him is he's just got character. He's captain now of the Melbourne Storm. It's just a matter of time till he'll be captain of Queensland. In my opinion, captain of Australia.
Yeah,
Coop, you live with him. Tell me just something. Tell me a story about Harry.
Harry Houdini. Yeah, we lived together for ages. He was. It's weird seeing him as a leader now. He's always been a leader with his actions, but it's weird seeing him as the captain of a whole club just because he was such an immature little shit when we were living together.
Oh, hang on. You would call him.
I mean, we both were immature little shits. We used to play a game called Spontaneous Moon, which we used to do. So at any point around the house, if you turned a corner and one of us would pull our pants down and expose our anuses to each other, but if you spotted if you got mooned spontaneously, there was a punishment for you. So we used to always just hide around corners and dack, and then be sitting there with our ass out to each other. But one day, I've got it on film, which is pretty funny. He was hiding behind a corner, but it was in the cupboard of the place. So the microwave reflection from the microwave lid, I could see his asshole through the microwave lid. And I was sitting there and he was going, "Coops, come in here for a sec." And I was filming it and going, "Oh, mate, you're not about to spontaneous moon me, are you?" And he's like, no, I just need help from the top shelf. I need to grab something because he's small. And I come around and filmed it. And then I sent it straight to the Jason Riles at the coaching staff. I said, "Can you play this at the team meeting tomorrow?" And on the intro of the team meeting, just came out, "Righto, guys, Harry's been doing some weird shit at home." And it was just a video of Harry dacking himself with his asshole in front of everyone.
Oh man, that is probably the most infantile thing I've ever heard. But I love it.
It was so stupid.
Okay, let's just recap before we go to the bench.
I've got to do my hooker as well.
Oh, you got to do your hooker. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to go Api Coruscant.
Of course.
Yeah, standard. I think he's probably the next best hooker off the rank there.
I reckon he's in top 5 players in the game.
Oh, I think so. How good he's playing for the Tigers too.
Mate, awesome.
He's bloody awesome.
So you got before we go to the bench, you got Reece Walsh at the back, Brian To'o and Xavier Coates on the wing, Latrell Mitchell, Joey Manu in the centres. That's a good combo. Munster and Cleary. It can be a tough side to beat. Cam Murray is your 13. Payne Haas and Jesse Bromwich. Viliami Kikau and your other
Homole
Olakawatu and Api Coruscant. I've got Ronaldo Mulatalo, Dylan Wittine-Zelezniak on the wings. My fullback is Dylan Edwards, Stephen Crichton and the Hammer in the centres. Tommy Dearden is my 6. My 7 is Jerome Hughes. My 13 is Ruben Cotter. My 2 back rowers are Liam Martin and John Bateman. And hooker Harry Grant, and up front James Fisher-Harris and Adam Fanua-Blake. Going to be a great clash through the middle.
Oh.
Righto, Coop. I'm going to let you pick first with your bench.
Okay. When picking the forward, so the rules for this one, the bench can be anyone?
Anyone, man. Anyone.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay. They don't have to have played 50% there.
No. You can go for it.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, my first one, I'm going to pick someone who covers a little bit of, just a little bit of everything, in my opinion. But I'm going to go, I actually think he's probably the best. He's a starter, but he's the best 14 in the comp when he plays for Maroons. I'm going to go Ben Hunt. I was chatting to someone about this the other day. It's something that New South Wales don't have. A 14 who is probably equally as good either in the halves or as hooker. I actually think hooker's probably his best position when he plays there.
Yeah.
It's something that is a rare skill to have. I think the only other player I was thinking of was the Cheese, who's is equally good at lock as he is at hooker, as equally as effective. So I think it's a really special position to have someone like that.
Okay, my 14 is Kalen Ponga. Kalen, you can throw him on at 1, 6. You can throw him on at 13 if you wanted to. Centres, he's just a natural footballer.
Yeah,
and he just buzz around the field, just driving you guys crazy. Okay, I'll go I'll go the second bench player, and I've gone Big Tino.
Oh, he was my one.
Tino, mate, size, leadership. The bloke just cares.
He does.
He's a story 2 years ago. We were at Magic Round, and he came on the show. He came on, and we were getting. He was getting a cab to the airport, right? And we said, anyway, we're standing there, and he drove past and he goes, "Here, boys, jump in." And mate, took us there. Only a little thing makes a difference. But before that was one of the most outstanding things I've ever seen from a footballer, let alone a young footballer. This kid runs up to Hindy, Nathan Highmarsh, and goes, "Hey, Hindy, give us an autograph." And Tino grabbed the kid, pull him over and say, "Mate, say please." And he goes, "Oh, okay. Hey, Hindy, can you give me an autograph, please?" And I thought, mate, that's... says a lot. So, yeah, Tino for me.
Good on him. Well done, Tino. I am going to go, first of all, it's tough. I'm going to go Joe Tarpanay.
Yep.
Really, it might be a little left field for some people, but he is, in my opinion, he's one of the best front rowers as well that I've played against. He's so hard to handle, and he's just individually brilliant. And then my next player I'm going to pick, I'm going to go Isaiah Yeo. I'm going to go Isaiah Yeo on the bench.
Clever.
Can play front row, back row, and lock, and just so smart.
Smartest player in the comp.
Yeah.
He's Nathan Cleary's secret ingredient.
Yeah.
Whew, rightio. My other... Okay, I'm going to go... it's not a left field one, but I'm going to go to Jake Travojevic.
Destroyovic.
Righto. Look, purely on this, if the shit hits the fan in a game, you just go out, you just say, "Jake, get out there and help me." Righto? Get out there and, mate, turn the game for us. He's a perfect example of a bloke he's not the biggest, he's not the fastest, maybe not even the fittest, but, mate, he will just do whatever it takes. He will bust his ass until he drops, till he's got nothing left.
Yeah.
He typifies the player that you want if you're playing for your life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who's your last one?
Oh yeah, my last one. I'm gonna go Paddy Carrigan.
Oh.
Yep. So
those two were on my
Carrigan. He's proven himself. He's developed into a great leader. He's athletic. He's a man of, in my opinion, great character, high character. So yes. So I've got Kalen, Tino, Kalen, Tino. Who's my Jake and Pat Carrigan. What about you?
Okay, I've got a bit of back coverage. I've got Yo and Tarpanay. I think the last one I want is maybe... Do I put another back in there? Do I put another back on the bench? I don't know. I think I just need probably another forward in there who's a bit mobile. I'm going to go someone who has been playing outstanding this year and can probably play a bit of everywhere if he has to go in the centres. I'm going to go Angus Crichton.
Yeah.
I really like Gussie as a player. As a bloke, he's bloody a terrific bloke as well. But anybody who's played against him before, he's not, your Kikau Homole type back rower, but he runs so hard and is so terrifying to play against.
The three of the thickest set players I've ever seen Brandon Smith, hence the term the cheese, block of cheese. Reuben Cotter, who was even thicker again, but the thickest to the light was Angus.
Yeah.
Angus, when his side on profile, honestly, it's like a thoroughbred racehorse.
Yeah.
He's that thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. So, okay. Coop, who's your coach?
My coach is none other than Martina Navratilova.
Navratilova. Yes.
A.k.a. Craig Bellamy.
Yeah.
Just signed on for another year, and he's just one of the probably. I mean, there's probably two coaches you can pick between here. He's one of the best.
Tell me, has he given you a big spray before?
He's given me a few. There's one where I took a show at training.
You took a dummy.
Took a dummy at training, yeah. I'll tell you, this is one I haven't really told. But after that Penrith game up at Suncorp, when Viliame Kiko ran over me 100 times, I was going to the
105 times.
105 times, sorry. I was going to the video session thinking, oh, no. And anybody who's ever been to a rugby league video session is you get in there early and you kind of look at the clips that are coming up and you can see Bellyache has like specific terminology. He says like people's initials, so you can see who the clip is going to be in the clip, whether it's good or bad. And I seen probably 10 clips that just said CJWTF. And I was just like, oh, and obviously standing for what the fuck. And I was so worried. And I thought there's just so many clips here that he's blessed to pick from clips in this thing. Like he's got so many clips. None of them are actually of Viliame Kikau running over me. They're all other stuff I'd done wrong in the game, which was actually worse because then I left going, oh my God, he didn't even show the worst of the worst. He showed all these little things. So that was probably the one time where Bellyache just destroyed me.
I'm going left field again. I'm going Sam Burgess.
Oh.
Because he's a guy who would have played against and with a lot of the guys in your side and my side. And I think generationally he'd know how to switch them on. And he's just a great leader. Sam will end up being one of the great coaches.
Yeah.
I love the one the other day when Warrington, when they played Hull must have been, and Richie Myler, who's the CEO, was standing in the tunnel and Sam's walking towards him, and Richie Myler, I think, did a bit of a power play and just stood there, and Sam just walked completely through him, just went bush, kept going.
Little shoulder charge.
So Sam, okay, so I've got Sam. So let's recap the sides. Now, people, I want you to listen to the sides, and we want your opinion. Who wins this game? What the scoreline is? And who is man of the match?
You read yours, I'll read mine.
Okay. My side is Dylan Edwards at the back. The two wingers, Ronaldo Mulatalo, Dallin Wittine, Zalesniak. My two centres, Stephen Crichton and the Hammer. My 5/8 is Tommy Dearden. My halfback is Jerome Hughes. My 13 lock forward is Reuben Cotter. My two back rowers, Liam Martin and John Bateman. My powerhouse front row, James Fisher-Harris and Adam Fanua-Blake. My hooker is Harry Grant. And off the bench, I got Kalen Ponga at 14. Tino, Jake Turbo, and Paddy Carrigan, coached by Sam Burgess.
Wow. I mean, it's okay. Coming in at Cooper Johns' side, the back three, Reece Walsh at fullback, Brian To'o, number 2, Xavier Coates, number 5. In the centres, Latrell Mitchell and Joseph Manu, Ray Warren, Cameron Munster and Nathan Cleary as a halves. Payne Haas and Jesse Bromwich in the front row. Appy Coruscant in between them in the scrum. Hamole Olakawatu and Viliame Kikau in the back row.
Kikau over Johns again. Hold your horses.
Cam Murray is the lock. Off the bench, coming off Dozer, Ben Hunt, Joe Tarpanay, Isaiah Yeo, and Angus Crichton, coached by Craig Bellamy.
Oh, okay. And just quickly before we finish, what style of football is your team going to play?
Mate, I'll leave that sort of coaching up to Craig Bellamy.
Very good. My style is we're going to blast you guys through the middle. Your big forwards, mate, we're going to make your big guys make upwards of 30 tackles or more before half time. Rightio, we're just going to take you guys apart. Now, what we want, people, as I said before, we want feedback. You tell us who wins, what the scoreline is, and who was man of the match.
And if you think we missed anyone, if you've got your 1 to 17 there, you can put it in there and see if it's better than ours.
Thanks, Coops.
Thanks, Matty.
Till next time.
Thanks, Matty John.
Goodbye.